With basketball and hockey season returning and football in full swing, fans of all ages are excited to see their favorite teams in action, but gambling is a top concern, especially for young adults. So joining me now are two leaders with the Minnesota Alliance on Problem Gambling, Executive Director Susan Sheridan Tucker, and then we have board member here, Jeff Hudson. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks
really
for
curious about this topic. So what's kind of driving this increase in young people?
Well, with sports betting on the rise since 2018, and just so everybody knows, sports betting in Minnesota is still illegal.
Okay, thank you
But,
for the clarification.
but we know that young people, young adults are engaging because of easy access on the phone. And what a lot of people don't understand in Minnesota is that if they're betting on their phones, they're betting on offshore unregulated sites, which are far more predatory than if they were on a regulated site.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for clarifying
Yeah.
about what's legal, what's not, because I even had a question about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know we have a lot of parents who watch. I mean, how can the signs, what are we watching out for? How are kids getting into this?
Well, there's really a blurred line between gaming and gambling.
Right.
And I have a 16-year-old daughter. When I went to visit her health class last year, it was very surprising for the students to see the extent of the dangers. But once I started talking through it, they got it, and they see the connection. Several of them showed me apps after the class, and I looked at them and I said, this is no different than a gambling app.
Okay, because I know there's some card games that you can do, you know, different things like that. So that is very insightful. Okay, so you mentioned that you go to schools to talk. I mean, how can high schools, different schools help children? I know it's not just with parents.
Well, right now, prevention materials are not in the schools. So problem gambling is not mentioned at all in any of the prevention materials that enter high schools. So we have been advocating. We created a toolkit that we've made available for parents, coaches, teachers, and we're trying to get into schools. So when we're invited in, we talk about gaming and gambling. But frankly, a lot of parents don't want to even deal with the issue that their kids may be gambling. So we'll kind of enter in the back door and talk about gaming first, and then show them how, as Jeff said, the blurred line between gaming and gambling.
Okay, thank you for doing that. It should be something that's in schools for sure, so I'm glad you guys are on top of this. Bringing it back closer here, Jeff, I know you have a personal experience with this topic.
Right, I am a person with lived experience. I had a gambling addiction for well over 25 years. I've been clean for 14 years. And I try to be as open as possible because people need to see those stories. We've completely normalized talk of gambling. You literally cannot avoid seeing all of the gambling advertisements. But we haven't normalized talk about gambling addiction or gambling disorder. And that's part of our goal, is to show that everybody has something they're dealing with. And this is my deal. And there's help out there. And if we can reduce that stigma where people find that help and it's free, then I think we're doing a service.
Absolutely. It is okay to reach out for help. Thank you, Jeff, for sharing your story, and both of you for trying to get more education out here about this.
And I'd just like to promote, we have a conference November 7th, and we're really focusing on young adults. And so we invite people to come and spend some time with some national experts on research and understanding more why young adults are getting caught in this addiction.
Another added resource. Thank you
Yes.
so much, both of you. We'll have more information about this at KARE11.com/noon. For now, we'll be right back. Stick around.